Hello, welcome to another video. My name is Kemal AA, and this is your preview for the Chelsea versus Manchester City game in the FA Cup semi-final preview at Wembley tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. What a game! The biggest game of the season so far for Chelsea. In my personal opinion, it has to be. It has to be the biggest game of the season at Wembley. A semi-final against Man City. It doesn't get bigger than this. This is Tuchel's first test. Pep versus Tuchel, the massive tactical battle. I'll be delving into Thomas Tuchel's press conference. I'll be delving into my predict line, how tactically we can outsmart Pep Guardiola and how we can outsmart and out-tactic Manchester City and win the game. I'll also be finishing off my preview with my score prediction on top of that. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into this preview for you guys. Now, starting off with bit of background info for Man City. Chelsea, on the other hand, are going for the double. City fighting on all four fronts. They've got the Premier League title wrapped up. They're in the League Cup final against Tottenham Hotspur, and they're massive favourites to win that. They're in the FA Cup semis against Chelsea, and they're in the Champions League semi-finals against Paris Saint-Germain. So they're fighting on all four fronts. And the scary part is they have the squad depth, they've got the squad quality, and they've certainly got the manager for that. Now, again, an amazing, it's fantastic, amazing display against Borussia Dortmund the other night. They won 2-1 away, Borussia Dortmund. They're into the semi-finals of the Champions League. They've had some tremendous performances, 24 wins out of 25. The one weakness Man City always had was their defensive shape. But ever since signing Ruben Diaz, who's essentially transformed their defence structurally, systematically, Man City have got everything on lockdown. They've been on point. Tactically, they're perfect. Of course, they use a system where they have inverted fullbacks. 4-3-3 is a classic Pep Guardiola system. They've got the DM of your Fernandinho's and De Bruyne, and Mahrez have been as a makeshift striker, as a false nine, because Aguero has been injured for the majority of the season. And of course, we know that he's leaving in the season. So you've had likes of a De Bruyne and Mahrez and a false nine, but I'll be delving into more tactics a bit later in the preview. Now, let's get straight into Thomas Tuchel's press conference, his pre-match press conference, and there's some interesting, juicy things Thomas Tuchel said. Now, starting off, he said that Thomas Tuchel says Pep Guardiola has had a massive influence on him and was very impressed by the way and style he played during his time at Barcelona. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea have to accept that there is a gap between them and Man City. He says it is important without making them too small. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea will hunt Man City down from day one next season to close the gap. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea truly believe that they can close the gap and compete against Man City tomorrow. He says that Chelsea don't expect the game to be like a chess game. However, he discusses the intensity and expects a physically high demanding match tomorrow. He says that Chelsea need to play with courage and braveness and to be adventurous at Wembley. He says Chelsea are in a good moment and was very proud to complete the job against Porto in midweek. He says that Man City and Bayern Munich are the benchmark teams in Europe. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic delivered in the last two games, and others need to fight for their spots. Thomas Tuchel says the Chelsea players who have lacked minutes need to put their egos aside and to fight hard for their places in the team. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea have a tight schedule and can't drop a single percent. And finishing off with some depressing news, unfortunate news actually, and that is injury team news. Two key first team players for Chelsea are unavailable for selection tomorrow, and that is, of course, Mateo Kovacic and Andreas Christensen. Kovacic, we know he couldn't feature against Porto because he has a tight hamstring, and I told you guys that with hamstrings you've got to be careful. It's something you have to nurture, and they're always out for a minimum 2 weeks because even if it's a small injury, hamstring is a delicate area. You don't want to strain it because if you rupture the hamstring, you're going to be out for months. So it's something you have to really be careful with. Allow full recovery for that, and so he's completely ruled out, which is a massive blow because he's been one of our best players since Tuchel's come in. And then you got Christensen again injured. He was superb. He was voted and nominated for Player of the Month. He's been simply world class since Thomas Tuchel's entered the frame, and again it's unfortunate that he will be out for as well. We don't know how long Christensen will be out for. Thomas Tuchel just said that he's out for Chelsea. He's definitely not featuring, so we know for a fact Thiago Silva is going to start the game at central centre back, and I'll give you guys my predicted lineup a bit later on. Thomas Tuchel says that he adapts to the quality of the players at the club. He says that Christian Pulisic needs to be more calm in his self-confidence and be aware that Tuchel trusts him to show his full potential to be a key player and influence for Chelsea. And essentially, that is wrapping up Thomas Tuchel's pre-match press conference. Very interesting press conference. A couple of things he said there, saying that they're going to hunt Man City down for next season. It shows the mentality. It's perfect because even though we're going to be dipping into the market, we're going to be investing millions again this summer. We have a full pre-season with Tuchel where he would like to ideally transform to a quarterback formation, get the plays, understanding his tactical ideas. He hasn't had much training sessions to get his tactical ideas across or implement tactics or a philosophy. But you've seen exactly how he wants to play, and three at the back is not the long-term solution, but it's one that is a quick fix to get immediate results, which is essentially what the board want for this specific season. And he's proven it. We're still fighting for 3 competitions. The top 4 race is still really tight. We're in the semis of the FA Cup. We're in the semis of the Champions League. And we have a fantastic opportunity to end the season on a fantastic note. So, it's really crunch time. It's honestly crunch time. We'll have to wait and see. But pre-season is when Thomas Tuchel will be able to, sign players that he wants, adapt it to his system, implement his tactics and philosophy. But again, that's essentially wrapping up his press conference. Now, let's get into the predicted lineup. Now, as you can see, again, we know the formation Thomas Tuchel is going to play. So it's going to be a 3-4-2-1 formation. He's been using a 3 at the back pretty much every single game since he walked into Cobham. Now, the main question here is, who do we play? Is it going to be Edouard Mendy? Is it going to be Kepa? Now, some of you might be thinking, what kind of a question is that? Now, hear me out. There's some context to this. We're playing the FA Cup. So far, in every single FA Cup game leading up to the semis, Kepa has started every single game. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying that usually with other clubs and their tradition is that whoever is the cup keeper, they carry on. So my question is, does Tuchel stick with Kepa, or is the magnitude of the game too massive to put Kepa in that you're going to stick Mendy? Now, personally for me, I'll put Mendy in as harsh as it on Kepa, because Kepa's been sublime in goal in the FA Cup run, but the teams were quite weak. We played Sheffield, Barnsley, Morecambe, Luton. They're not the most strongest. They're not the strongest teams, essentially in the FA Cup. We had quite an easy run, so we need to be careful. We can't really be taking any risks. So for me, it's a case of we need to ensure that Mendy starts in goal. He's our first choice goalkeeper. I know it's the FA Cup, but it's a massive game. We can't afford to make any slip-ups or mistakes. So for me, Edouard Mendy goes in goal. Again, fullbacks is an interesting one. Some of you guys may go Hudson-Odoi, some may go Reece James. I'm going to go Reece James. I'll give you my tactical reasons to why. Reece James and Ben Chilwell for the fullbacks, for the wing-backs, apologies. Why am I going to go Reece James? Reece James gives more defensive capabilities compared to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi is a lot more attacking minded. He's got the ability on the 1v1, the pace, the agility, the skill and the flair to beat his man. Again, his close control, his ability to drift in the half spaces. Reece James, again, is more defensively capable. He's able to track back. And we're playing a team that is, again, immaculate in the press, immaculate on the ball. And the way they're going to be pinpointing our defence and making runs in behind in close control. You've got your Mahrez's, your Sterling's, your De Bruyne's. We need someone a bit more defensive there. And Reece James has got, world-class crossing ability, so he can always cross them deep if need be. He's got the physicality and the strength to bully the Man City wingers. And for me, tactical reasons for the defensive capabilities, I'm going to go Reece James of Hudson-Odoi. Chilwell for the pace. Again, Chilwell aerially is one of the best fullbacks in Europe, aerially. Quote me on that. Again, he wins a lot of headers. He's got a fantastic engine. He's got a lot more pace compared to Alonso, which can be required. Midfield, we don't really have a choice. Kovacic is injured, therefore Kante and Jorginho is going to be the pivot. Again, Jorginho dictating, controlling the tempo of the game, trying to get a foothold in the game, because we know the way De Bruyne is going to drop deep in that pocket of space in that false nine position. Jorginho being that press resistant player, moving the ball in the triangles, press resistance, one touch, two touch passing. Your Kante for the athleticism, that box to box role. Again, we're going to need these players on point. They're going to have the counter pressing on point. This one touch, two touch movement in the half spaces is crucial. Of course, Kovacic is a massive miss, but Jorginho and Kante for me has to be in the pivot positions. And then we move on to the front three. Front three for me, I think it's fairly simple. I'm going to go false nine. I'm going to go Kai Havertz dropping in a pocket of space. Again, he's been superb in false nine. I think that's personally his best positions. And I'm going for Mason Mount for the balance, the agility, for the intensive press. And the next to him, Christian Pulisic, who was on red hot form. Now. Here's a caveat. Here's the main problem. Pulisic played 90 minutes against Crystal Palace. He also played 90 minutes against Porto. Now, we know Pulisic's injury record and history of his hamstring. Do you want to risk it when we still have massive games coming up? Do you really want to risk starting Pulisic? Now, for me, I don't think we really have a choice. Some will say stick Timo Werner. Again, he's not as good as Pulisic. Yes, Werner's got a lot more pace, but he's low on confidence. He struggled to finish the season. He hasn't got the technical ability or the close control dribbling compared to Pulisic, which can harm Man City's defence. For me, I know Werner's rested. I think Werner will be a player that you bring on. I'd say start Pulisic. So for me, it's going to be a Pulisic, Mason Mount, and then Kai Havertz as a false nine to link up the play. But I would then personally, in the 65th minute, bring on Timo Werner for Christian Pulisic to give Christian Pulisic that extra half an hour of rest, because it's going to be risky. But for tactical reasons, for the dribbling, close control, the pockets of space, for me, Christian Pulisic is vital. He's our best player, in my personal opinion, overall in terms of ability alongside Kai Havertz. So Christian Pulisic starts for me. That is my predicted line. Let me your predicted lineup in the comment section below. As a score prediction is tough because tomorrow's a massive game. It's a massive tactical battle between Tuchel and Pep. Who comes out on top? We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea victory in the FA Cup semi-final, allowing Chelsea to advance into the FA Cup final. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Smash the like button if you did enjoy it, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.